Hi, this is Jen from ScanNCut Jam Sessions and ScanNCut Canvas and Scout Help on Facebook. Okay, this is the part 2 of the using like the print from Scal. So this came out just fine. I canceled the print. I had a little bit of ink left in my cartridges, so I wanted to kind of use that up. So I see that this works, so I'm going to go ahead and put my Printable Outdoor 651 in the printer, and I'm going to use that and go ahead and print this out. And on this vinyl I will actually put a sealer on it to make sure that the ink does not bleed. Okay, so here it is all printed out. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to grab, this is a little yard signs that you use. I already have one of them on the back here, already done up. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one on. And of course it doesn't cover the whole thing. You know, I could have cut it apart to make it fill the whole thing, but I really don't want to because I'm going to have stuff that's going to be on here. So it really didn't need to cover the whole thing. And of course, you know, too, I can cut it down. It's not a big deal to me because it's going to have a helmet and names and stuff like that. And with this already being so busy, you know, having all this on it, I don't want to overwhelm, you know, somebody's eyes when they're looking at it. My goodness. Sometimes a whole lot is too much. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this peel. Okay, pull this back. Alright, so I'm going to bring it up here into the corner. Make it even on the top and the sides here. I don't want it too far over because I don't want it hanging over the edge. Now this is the Printable Outdoor vinyl. I got mine at craftvinyl.com. You can probably find it elsewhere, but their stuff is pretty cheap, so I like going through them. And it does say on there, it tells you what the outdoor life is, and I think it's like 3 to 5 years, but like I said, I am going to spray this with a sealer. I will seal this probably with polyacrylic so that the ink doesn't run. Even though it's a good quality, high quality ink, I don't want it looking bad and fading quickly. Okay, so I have my, God, I better get this over here, huh? I have my favorite little rubber tool, and I'm going to just peel the backing off as I go. I don't want to peel it all off, because you know me, I get stuff stuck down too quickly and make a mess for myself. So I just pull as I go, pop out the bubbles as I go too. So right after you print this, and this is what having a wide format printer is so good, because you can print these wide objects. I think it goes up to 13 by something. I never remember the numbers, for goodness sakes. And I can go in and I set it to a custom print, a custom paper. I don't know what all of those letters and numbers, I don't know how big that is. So I had to go find a website that told me what they were. Isn't that horrible? I do all this stuff and I don't even know what they mean. I got too much stuff in my brain already. Okay, so there we go. I can hear little air bubbles in there, so I'm going to do my best to work them out. But the ones that don't come out, okay, most of them are coming out, you can hear. Don't scratch this though. If you scratch it, it will make the color come off. What I do is I take my little pick, just gently press, and then smooth over little holes. Because with my sealer, it's going to seal this all down anyhow. Now I usually tell you with the regular vinyl, don't seal it because it will actually make it peel up. This I'm not sealing to seal it down, I'm sealing to seal in the color. So I'm not going to be focusing on the edges so much, I'm going to be focusing on the places that have color. And this isn't going to be like a lifelong thing that I'm going to try to preserve, I just want to preserve it through the fall football season. I can make another one next year. Okay, so that one looks good. So now my next thing to do is I'm going to get football, and I have to print or cut out the names out of the regular vinyl, and we'll get it all set up. Okay, so I have a giant football helmet cut out, and I'm going to lay it on here. Try to get it in a decent position. I'm going to start with one side and then work it on over. Hopefully you can see this because I only have one hand to do this with. I have to hold the other one up. And I'm not too awfully worried about bubbles because I can just poke those out. Lay it down and pull it directly back onto itself. That's when I find I have the best luck. Don't pull too fast in case you get parts like that that want to come up on itself. On the other side, I'm going to probably decrease the size of this helmet. But when you get over here and it looks like it's going to start misbehaving, just kind of gently push it where it needs to go. Alright, let's start pulling. Once again, this is the low-tack adhesive transfer paper that I get from Stalls that I love because I can use it for anything. Rhinestones, 651, HTV. Doesn't leave any adhesive on anything. It doesn't make it look yucky. It's really nice. Okay, that turned out good. I don't have any air bubbles. Pretty nice. Okay, so now I'm going to go cut a number, name, all that good stuff. Okay, now comes time to put this down. And I don't know if some of you might struggle, you know, getting it lined up. I use my grids on this mat to line up my letters. Okay, well, that's all good and fine. But to stick them down so that you can line them up, I just take a little piece of tape like this, roll it up, and I'll go through and I'll stick them down onto this little mat thingy where these pieces will soon lay so that they don't move around when I go to pick them up with my transfer tape. And it really does help because it holds them in place. Because if you're like me, you bump them all the time and you will never get them on straight. It drives me batty. So just go through and pick them up like this, or put them down like this. Okay, so now let me pick the one up that I just dropped. Okay, so now put that one on there. This one down. Okay. And you don't go by like the cuts at the top, you go by the letters. Oops. Tape's in the wrong spot. So it's really helpful if you have one of these mats. This one was pretty cheap. Okay, so once you get them down, just double check. I need to move this light a little bit because I can't see it real well. And it looks pretty good to me. Okay, so now I'll bring over my giant transfer tape, transfer paper. And if you come up short, just grab a little tiny piece, lay it on top to capture it. Okay? Don't stress out and think you have to get a whole new piece, because you don't. Just do it that way. Okay? So smooth it down. So peel it all up. And your tape may or may not come up. Doesn't really matter. You can get rid of it. And then you're going to go about peeling the back off. Leaving your letters there, but peel the backs of all of this stuff off. Okay? So I will be back when I have all of the back peeled off. Okay. So I did go ahead and lay this down and peel it off, and what I'm doing right now is a technique called reverse weeding. It's when you put your kind of entire design down, pull off the backing, and then you go through and you peel out the unwanted vinyl this way. I normally don't do this, but this is a good technique to use for this one, because sometimes you can get confused on what you need to keep and what you don't need to keep. So with it all laid out and uncovered, you can actually see better what you need and what you don't need. Okay, so reverse weeding for this one with this font, which is the, I think it's Collegiate Heavy outline. I'd have to double check, but this is one that definitely the reverse weeding is good for. Okay, so I have it all on my transfer tape. So let's go ahead and put this guy down here. smooth all over it so it gets a good stick. This is our smaller layer. Oh, poo. Get the wrong sheets off. Alright, so let's stick this back on there. Alright. Start to pull all the way back onto itself. Make sure you don't pull up anything that's not supposed to come up. Hopefully you all can see this. Okay, there we go. Stick this back on its sheet until the next thing I do, which will be the name, but I gotta smooth all this down. And again, if you get any little holes, just take your little poker thing, your pick, and just put a little tiny hole in it. And that'll help bleed that air pocket right on out of there. Okay. Now let's see, where do I want to put these? Oops, I guess it helps if I put its first name first. Don't know if I want a number. I might. I'm not sure. Okay, so now I'm going to lay this out. I think I want it like this. And this one down here with number 32, like that. So, get the tape out. Only this time, instead of putting it on the stuff, I'm just going to tape it right here. And I'm not taping on the printed vinyl. I'm taping on the glossy vinyl because I don't want to lift off any of the color. Okay, got the transfer paper on here. And it's some of the really old stuff. I can actually lay that down. I'm going to lift it up, remove the blue paper and tape, and then just lay it right back down. Oh, come on, tape. I'm sure the adhesive stuff from the tape comes off too. It's kind of grody. Most of the time it should just pop right off. I think this low tack has about had it. It's seen its glory days and probably just needs to be tossed. Yep, it doesn't want to stick to anything. It's to stick to my fingers. And my tool. Alright, I'll monkey with that when I get done. So just go ahead and pull off all of your backing sheets and lay them right back down where you got them from. Okay, so here's the finished part of the one side. This had the normal colors of the printable on it, because this side, see the difference there? Because I have a Wi-Fi printer, and sometimes the Wi-Fi all of a sudden just stops. Which is another reason with that ScanNCut too. But I'm not real gung-ho about going out and getting it, because I know sometimes my Wi-Fi just says, you know what, I'm tired, I'm taking a break. But here's the good side. And as you see, I tweaked a few things, changed a few things. But right here's the helmet that I did. I did a tutorial on how to make actual cuttable files. Some SVGs we get come in and they have tons of like extra things in there. And they're not really usable, because when you go to try to cut them, it'll slice up that whole helmet, or you know, whatever object you have. It'll cut the whole entire thing up, and oh my gosh, it makes it useless. So I showed you in that tutorial how to actually make this and make it a usable file that you can go in and pull apart. So here it is. It did turn out quite well. But there's my whole thing, so I'm going to go out and stick it in the yard. Alright, thanks a lot guys. Have a good day. If you need anything, find me at ScanNCut Canvas and Scal Help on Facebook. Thanks.